Hello everyone, my name is Jamil. Let me tell you about what I'm planning on doing here today. So every day I do a lead code challenge, and I try to solve one a day just so I can deepen my knowledge on algorithms and how coding works. And I think it also like helps with like building your yes, deepen and building and strengthening your knowledge in your respective coding language. It will help you remember your methods, your properties, the way you should code essentially. And so like what I plan on doing is I plan on creating a series where I record myself on a day-to-day basis just solving my lead codes. And if I'm posting them online, and if they help anybody, then fantastic. It will also help show how I think about problems. And yeah, am very excited to get started on this. And let's get started. Yeah. So what I do typically for starting up my lead code problems is I'll log in, I'll go to my problems, I'll tap on algorithms, hit the difficulty. Right now I'm only working on medium or easy questions. I select to do, and that's basically all I do. Is I'll select these three buttons here, but then I will sort by acceptance. And I've skipped a few. Some of them are locked behind LeetCode Pro. I don't have LeetCode Pro yet, or Premium, but maybe one day. And I'm gonna skip over a couple of the ones that I thought I saw in the past, and determined it's going to be something that I approach later on, because it's not what I want to solve immediately. But today it looks like we can take a look at the count of matches in a tournament. So this is a LeetCode Easy. It does have a fairly high acceptance rate. It is asked by companies. I try to write in TypeScript, like I mentioned. I think it helps deepen your knowledge with your specific coding language. I like TypeScript because JavaScript doesn't necessarily use types, but a lot of other coding languages do. And so I plan on expanding my knowledge in the future, and I think using TypeScript and trying to learn what loosely typed languages are like will help also like determine and strengthen my knowledge on my path in the future. But let's start up with the question. It says here, you are given an integer n, and the number of teams in a tournament that has strange rules. Okay. If the current number of teams is even, each team gets paired with another team. A total of n over 2 matches are played, and n over 2 teams advance to the next round. If the current number of players or teams is odd, one team randomly advances in the tournament, and the rest get paired. So n-1 over 2 matches are played, and n-1 over 2 plus 1 teams advance into the next round. So this is a little bit of a math problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to need to return the number of matches played in the tournament until a winner is decided. Usually, typically, when I like to solve these lead code problems, these are my first passes. So I'm not yet super familiar with all of the algorithms out there. I'm just familiar with coding. I'm familiar with math. So I will try to solve this on stream or on camera. I'll give it about 20 minutes. If I can't solve it, then I'll start figuring out the problem with like the solutions that are online. And so yeah, because of that, I will start with the brute force method. If I can find any improvements, I will go over them, and I will see if I can get the program to work with a refactored set of code. So for our first example, because it does give us a couple of examples and constraints that we need to go over, our input is 7, which means that's the total number of teams, and our output is 6. And so this is because 7 is an odd number, right? So we get a total of n-1 over 2 matches played, and n-2 over 2 plus 1 teams advancing to the next round, right? So first round, we have 7 matches, 7 teams, 3 matches, and 4 teams advance, right? 4 teams advance. because we have 7 minus 1, which is 6, divided by 2, which is 3, plus 1, ends up being 4. Okay. And so now the second round, which is 4 teams, which comes from our last match, like number of teams that have advanced. The number of matches is just, well, now it is a even number. So we must go with the other formula, n over 2 and n over 2. So 2 matches and 2 teams advance naturally, and then 2 teams, 1 match naturally, and 1 team is declared the winner. And so the total number of steps that we needed to or number of matches that we needed to take were 3, 2, and 1, which gives us a total of 6. Same thing here, n is 14, it's an even number, so we start off with 7 matches and 7 teams advancing. Then we have 7 teams, which is an odd number. Then it's 3 matches and 4 teams advancing. 4 teams, 2 matches, 2 teams advancing, and so on. And then we get a total of 13 here. So it kind of, to solve this problem, I kind of like want to know what the important bits of information are here. So let's start with that. What do we care about? What indicates that our problem is done, right? It is the number of matches. So if the number of matches is 1, right, then we stop there after the match is over. So it tells us here, 2 things. We need to figure out, the total number of teams going through, and then the total number of matches remaining. So let's create 2 variables. So we're going to say teams, right? It's going to be a number, and I'm just going to set it to 0 for now, and let matches also a number, and it's going to be 0. So we can track, and maybe we need to well, we might not need the teams just yet, because n comes in as the total number of teams that we have. So we are going to say we might use a while loop for this. So while, okay, well, let's initialize the total number of teams. Teams is equal to n over 2. Why am I setting it up to 0? Right? We can always run an if statement, because we have to double check. We don't know if our number coming in is odd or even. So if we don't know the number coming in is odd or even, what we can do is we can use a conditional at the very beginning to be like, if n mod 2 is equal to 0, so this means it will tell us it is even. We'll say teams is equal to n over 2, and matches is equal to n over 2. But I need to move, can I move this like this? Will this work? Yeah. Oh, not here, I guess. Cut this and paste this here. Move this back. And we're just gonna declare and assign in this if statement. Let's say else here. And I'm just gonna copy this, but change my math. So it is, I need a bracket here, n minus 1 over 2. And then n minus 1 over 2 plus 1, right? So now we have determined our base case. When coming in, right, it's either going to be an odd number or it's going to be an even number. And so why do I want to throw this in a loop, right? I could also just like try and do this using recursion, it sounds like. It sounds like I will have to continually like feed something back in. And then maybe... Yeah, okay. So I'm going to just build out my loop. And I'm going to need... let's see, what am I gonna need? Something to figure out when to stop. And that's when my matches are 1. So it will be while matches it's greater than 1. Okay, and we'll probably want to let it count. And we'll assign it to 0. Oop, I don't need that semicolon there, but we'll want to count in here so that we can figure out what the total number of matches are, right? While matches are this. If so, we'll start with our first case. So while matches is this. So we come in, teams is 7, matches is 3. So if I divide teams first, right, then this is wrong because I won't actually figure out what the first case is. So if n comes in as 7 and then I do teams first, immediately teams then becomes if it's 7, then teams becomes 4 here, right? Because code reads top down. So I need to figure out what matches are first for the first go around. So when n comes in, let's assume 7, it comes in as an odd number. Matches first must be calculated, right? Count will be the count of matches, and we'll do the same thing here, right? And then teams is this, and then matches is figured out, and then it counts it, and at the end, afterwards, when everything is done, we will need to return a number. Oh, not a number. Count, which is a number, right? So we have teams. I don't need teams anymore since it doesn't look like it's going to be used. But let's test this out. Oh. N. We'll use N here instead of teams, right? Maybe I can do recursion someplace in here. I think I'm starting to see it. Oh, output is 0. N is equal to 7, output is 0, expected 6. Count plus equals matches. Well, matches is greater than 1. So what does matches come in as? It never triggers because... Right, okay. So then we'll just have to assign it here is equal to... So if we assign it... So we will need a conditional outside. Right? N mod 2 is equal to 0, then you know, this. Otherwise, this. Right? And so now, we want to add to our count first then. That's, I believe, what we want to do. Actually, before we change any of this, we have our first case coming in. N is 7, right? We don't know what matches is, and we don't know what count is. So, mod 2, is it equal to 0? No. So, matches is equal to n minus 1 divided by 2. Then we step into our loop. Then we divide again. I don't want to do that. Right? Because when we first come in, I don't want to go straight from 3 to 2. When it first iterates, teams is 7. So count, regardless, I want to add the initial count to this. Oh, wait, actually. And count is... Oh, we can define it afterwards. On our first go around, count equal to matches. Right? And then I think we can do chronological order again. Right? Let's see. So 7 comes in, we set what matches is, and then we set count to matches. And so while it is while matches is greater than 1, comes in as an odd number, it goes through this, it then becomes 4. Matches goes to 4 minus 1 divided by 2. Wait. Yeah, because now immediately it becomes, instead of 7, it becomes 4 minus 1. So I should probably count the matches first before the number of... because we've already done our first iteration, so this is now doing our second iteration. So when it's our second iteration, n is equal to 7 minus 1, which is 6 divided by 2. Right? Now it's 3. And it's 3 minus 1 divided by 2 plus 1. So that doesn't work. I want it to be 7 minus 1 divided by 2 plus 1. So that I can get 6. Well, let's actually, you know what? Let's just run this. Seems like I'm losing my train of thought. I got an output of 7 when I was expecting 6. Okay. We will do this so that I can see what's going on. Console log count, comma, match, comma, n. Matches. And we'll just do this. We'll see where the flaw in our logic is. Okay, so the first time we go around, we have our count of... Well... Right? 4, 4, and 7. See, okay, there's the issue. 4, 4, and 7. Oh, teams advance to the next round. Right, so I don't want +1, actually, I want this. When it's odd, matches is +1. And n minus 1, and a total of matches are n minus 1 over 2. And n minus 1 teams. Okay. Let's see. I just had my numbers backwards, it looks like. Nice. So this got accepted, this got accepted. Let's just take all of this out. Wrong answer. Is it not going to show me my answer? Does not look like it. Output was 1, so when n comes in, let's just see. N comes in as 3. And 3 divided by 2, so it goes into here. Matches is 3 minus 1, which is 2, divided by 2, which is 1. Is it maybe because it's greater than or equal to? Okay. Output is 14. Expected 13. Okay. 10.5, 3.5, and 7. Alright, so let's think this through then. Why is this not working? So while n is equal to 3, right? Matches is equal to 1. Three minus 1 is 2 divided by 2. If matches is equal to 1, then we can just return 2, right? Two otherwise matches. So what this says here is if matches is equal to 1, I should say return 2. Oh. The ternary operator is going to be an issue, so let's just say this. If matches is equal to 1, right? Return count is equal to 2. Oop. And here. Because I declared count. If n is equal to 2, output is 2, expected 1. Oh. And n mod 2 does not equal 0. So we want to check it if this is what is happening? So 5 comes in, 5 minus 1 is 4 divided by 2 is 2, right? So now it comes in as 2 for matches, but n is still 5. So it comes in as, yeah, 5. And so maybe I do need to comes in as 5. Why am I like, why did I not console log here? Like, where's my console log? So it comes in as 7. Wait, this is accepted. Okay. Comes in as 5. Our count is 2, our matches is 2, and n is 5. So when it comes then in, we go into our else statement, and I see. If I put this here and this here, does this work? Output was 9, expected 6. No, so I am now just going back into figuring out what is happening here. Why does it break? It has to do with my while loop. So while it is 0, greater than 0, and matches doesn't, it is not less than 1, right? Output is 3, expected 6. What's not less than? Not less than JavaScript. Oh, not less than, it's just and matches.floor does not equal 0. Math.floor. Right? It already broke. Let's put this backwards and then we'll see how this goes. Control C here, Control V here. I'm getting so close, but I'm not getting it. So close. Just so that we have this understood here. Okay. 14 comes in. And that's the number of teams. 14 teams comes in. And then 7 and 7 teams advance. And so while teams is equal to 7, see, I'm having, because this is odd, matches is what? N minus 1 over 2. Because we automatically overwrite this is where the logic flaw is here. But what happens if I put this backwards? Right? 7, 3, and 3. Right. Hmm. Let's just change this to 0. We'll add here. We'll add first. Right? So, what do we want to do? We first do our first iteration outside of the loop. Then it's the second iteration. We count our matches from the teams. You know what? I see. Maybe if we just do this. This might be our issue. And because we put our count outside of the loop, we can just go back in chronological order, I think. Okay. 7, 3, 4, 1.5. How does that work? I see. It breaks at this. Maybe if we run this now. Still the same issue. So... Five is our n, matches are 2, and count is 0. Right? We add to our count. Let's just do this. And paste. Oh. Count plus equals matches. And if matches is greater than or equal to 1, then we will add to matches. Right? Because at the last iteration, matches is less than 1, so we don't want to add to it. Accepted. Test cases. Many conditionals. This is horrible code, but let's see if we can work this out. Oh my god, it's the same one. 3. So why does it keep breaking at smaller numbers? What is it about my code that keeps breaking it? Right? So n is 5, 2, and 2. Which makes sense, right? Because 4 minus 1, 5 minus 1 is 4, and then divided by 2 puts me at 2. And so that's how much we should make our count at for the first iteration, right? Is it because of the conditional in there? Okay. How many times does this run? 5. And then why are we encountering decimals? That's my issue. So we come in at 7 and 3, right? So it's because of this again. Right? It's because it's calculating off of this again. So maybe maybe I do need to separate my n and my teams, right? Maybe after all that, I should probably just do that. But why would it matter? It's still the same number, right? Because if this was like matches is equal to n, then all I'm doing is manipulating matches, or not matches, but teams is equal to n. All I'm doing is manipulating teams and saying teams is equal to n over 2. Oh, maybe I should do matches is greater than 1, and I need to check another thing. Team, oh my god, if the and n is greater than 2, right? Or greater than equal to 2. And I think then we can do this. But at the end, just because we already start off with counting what matches are. Okay, that works there, and that works there. What about this one? So why doesn't it stop here? It doesn't stop here because expected 13, but I have 13 here, and it does 14. Instead of doing this, I'll just do this. Make my life easy. This is going to be an interesting... And then immediately straight into the decimals again, right? See, the thing is, if... What if I do math.floor here? Two, 1, and 1. It expected a 1, so our teams were 2, and matches are 1. So just return 1. Yeah. Else if matches equals 2 and... No. 1 and n is equal to 2. Oops. Four, 2, and 2. 2, 1, and 3. It's expected 3. And what did it get? 4. Why is it running though? It shouldn't be running when matches is greater than... Let's just do a do while loop maybe instead. While... Does that matter at all? Yeah, because the math.floor doesn't actually work. And now I think we just we move these back to where they were. Seven and 3, right? So that's our first iteration. Then it comes in. So if our match is like 7 teams, 1 advances. Oh, I forgot that 1 advances. Oh, teams advance to the next round, yeah. I'm not really sure what the hell the issue is here. 4, 3, and 6, 2, 2, and 8. 8, expected 6. Is this 4? Yeah, because if there's less than 2 teams, we want to stop. Or if there's no more matches. Hmm. So maybe we can just check with the number of teams then. While teams are greater than or equal to 2, we just count. Why am I going by matches? Again, look at this. It keeps going. It keeps going. Why does it keep going? Okay, so now we are one step closer. But, I think we should get rid of this math.floor. I think that might be messing with... So 7 comes in. It's odd. Matches is equal to 7 minus 1, which is 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then n is equal to 7 minus 1. 6 divided by 2, 3 plus 1, 4. Right? Yeah. And that's the new number of teams. So now the new number of teams comes in is 4, right? So now that the new number of teams is 4, matches is equal to 4 divided by 2, yeah? And n is equal to 2, 4 divided by 2, which is 2, right? So then we add to count, which was, matches was 2. So now we're at 6, yeah. And then the next time it goes around. N is even again. Right? If n is even again, so we add... Matches is 1. Why is matches not 1 here? Because matches is equal to n divided by 2. While n is greater than 1, maybe. What is up with this loop? Why am I not having a good time? We can just put this here. If n is less than 2, break, right? Less than or equal to. It doesn't break. Why does it not break? Why does it not break? This also is not the right number. Like 7 and 3, 4 and 3. It should be 2. Not really sure. Not really sure why these while loops are broken like this, or like. I don't know if it's broken, or if my mind is broken. Okay. Maybe I'm caught. Let's try it just with doing this. We'll do this, and we'll start again from the top, and we'll say this. Let matches, which is a number, equal to n. Oh. Let matches, and it's a number, right? And so, n mod 2 is equal to 0, which is the total number of teams. So if our total number of teams is odd, then matches is what? N minus 1 divided by 2. Oh. I don't know if badness has to do anything with this. Otherwise, it is n minus 1 divided by 2. And this is matches. Is this. Right? Right? And then we'll do the same thing. N mod 2 is equal to 0. N is equal to what? Wait. This is even. If it's even, I need to give it the even formula, which is this. Otherwise, I give it the odd formula. And if it's even, I need to give it the even formula. N is equal to n over 2. Otherwise, you know, we give it the odd formula, which is n. And I'm just doing the same error again, right? Because this is n minus, a total of n minus 1 over 2 matches are played, right? Otherwise, it is n over 2. And if that has been my issue this entire time, that might be upsetting. But that's fine. We will... n minus 1 matches as this, matches as that. Okay. Then, n minus 1 over 2 plus 1. So it is n minus 1 over 2 plus 1, right? If we'll use our base case, n is equal to 2 and matches is equal to 1, right? We need to return our counter. So we need to figure out what our count is. Count plus equals matches. And we will call the same thing. So we'll do number of matches, and it's going to be n. Right? We will just call the same thing. This should work. This is recursion. Maximum number of call stack exceeded. Okay. Or is it const then maybe? No, it wouldn't be const because it would be yeah. Okay, so then maybe then I'll just move this. To here. It won't let it. So I would have to do it properly then, I think. Okay. Let's figure this out. It doesn't like it because the maximum call stack size was exceeded. I wonder if it's because we are continually doing this. But it doesn't seem to be giving me an error with... Oh. It's because I don't have an assignment here. Matches is here, matches is here, and is here, and is here. Let's try this. Undefined. Expected 6. Right. And so... I'm just gonna might have to create a new variable. Because matches... will need to be declared first, right? Also undefined. Not a number, and not a number. It's because I never initialized it. Still not a number. 3 and 2. Expected 6. It's still undefined, even though... Oh. And then this will have to be here. I think. Right? figure out what matches first, is first, and then we determine what it is, right? Then we define count, and because every time we went over it, what it would do is it would be it's rewriting it. Oh, if I set this to 0, it rewrites it every time it runs the loop. It sets it back to 0 and then adds matches to it, right? But if I say like count number and then count is plus equals matches, does this work? Because this matches at this point should be a number at some like, and then console log count. Maybe I can just set it to matches, and instead of adding it, it'll just be matches. Three, two, one. Right? Matches counts down. Counter needs to add up. What does it not like about this? Better type might be inferred from usage. Expected, a comma. Yeah, so it doesn't like what I have here. So how would I go about having a counter? Oh. So maybe then it's an if-else. I see. Else this. And we move this up here. Right? Oops. Might want to take this out. And then this one here. You have attempted to run code too soon. So how would I then, maybe in our solutions, we might be able to find, I'm going to give up at this point. I've tried both a JavaScript one-line solution. Oh, yes. Very nice. Number of matches is equal to n minus 1. Neat solution. I laughed at myself when I saw how simple the solution was. Yep. Solution Python, easy. Yep. So it looks like I just missed the complete. Okay, interesting. So I am just going to do this, and then just return n-1. Cool. So there we go. That's the solution. If any of you are watching this and have any input on where I messed up in my code or how to overcome the issue with recursion, you can leave a comment below. I would really appreciate it. I'm going to pause here. I really enjoyed this kata. It got my mind going for a bit. But I learned essentially the maximum number of games that you have is always going to be one less than the total number of teams that you have, which is the whole idea of the question. But then how is that going to help you if you are in a technical interview? Are you just going to mention and say, you know, there is a quick algorithm to solve this, right? Which is the answer is just n-1 number of, like, from the number of teams, or, you know, not me sitting here ruining the acceptance rate for this for this challenge, but I don't really care, to be honest. So what I'm gonna do is I will show you guys how I keep track of my leet codes. Let me just get this out of the way. I am going to do this. So I have a file here, right? I'm going to say touch, and what was the name of the thing here? Partitioning into minimum number of Deci-Binary numbers. Okay. Partitioning into semi-binary. Partitioning into minimum number of Deci-Binary numbers. But yes, right? Partitioning into minimum number of Deci-Binary numbers. Do this. Oh, Control Z. I will copy this because this was my solution ultimately, and a little bit of some more solutions. And I will save this and git commit solved partitioning into minimum number of Deci-Binary numbers, and git push. And what we'll do is we will quickly go into our GitHub and we will double check and see. And if we go into our GitHub, we'll see here, boom, 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 that we have a green square. Very nice. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you learned something today. I hope you saw through my frustration. I tried to think through everything out loud in order to try and help and see if I can, to see if anybody can understand and or see my thought processes. If you have any questions or comments or any pointers that you may have seen that would have helped with my solution, any solution that I wrote out today, either the recursion or the brute force one, because I did get stuck in two different locations, and I think it was how the reassignment and memory allocation works, both in a while loop or how a while loop operates to begin with, because my while loop conditions were not working out, or how to overcome the overriding in a recursion question of a variable, like for example when I was talking about count. Okay, thank you everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.